Welcome back to JF Coin, the home of rare finds, hidden gems, and coin treasures hiding in your pocket change. If you're holding on to some old pennies, this episode is going to blow your mind. Because today, we are diving deep into one of the most talked about and surprisingly valuable modern coins in US numismatic history, the 1994 Lincoln penny. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just find out that a simple 1-cent coin in your collection could actually be worth $585,337 or even more. Let's start with a bit of history. The 1994 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, as signified by the little D mint mark just below the year. At first glance, it might look like just another ordinary penny. After all, billions were minted. To be exact, over 7.1 billion coins came out of the Denver mint that year. So what makes some of these pennies so valuable? Well, like with many collectible coins, it all comes down to a few critical factors: rarity, condition, errors, and collector demand. The design of the Lincoln cent has remained mostly unchanged since it was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The obverse features the iconic right-facing portrait of President Lincoln by Victor David Brenner. The reverse in 1994 still displayed the Lincoln Memorial, a design used from 1959 to 2008 before the newer shield reverse took over. But here's the interesting part: not all 1994 pennies are created equal. Among those billions of coins, a tiny fraction have errors, high-grade conditions, or unique traits that make them astronomically valuable. If you have a 1994 penny in mint state, especially with a grade of MS 67, MS 68, or even higher, collectors will pay top dollar. Why? Because out of billions, very few survive in flawless condition. The highest graded coins are the most desirable, where the lettering or Lincoln's features appear doubled, center strikes, where the coin was not properly aligned during minting, clipped planchets, where a chunk of the coin is literally missing, wrong planchet errors, pennies struck on a dime planchet or foreign metal. Some of these rare errors have sold for thousands to tens of thousands of dollars at auctions. This isn't a made-up number. The combination of rarity, error, and condition led to one of the biggest modern penny sales ever recorded. Now imagine, that same coin could be hiding in an old piggy bank, in a forgotten coin jar, or even in your pocket change. How to check your 1994 penny? If you have a 1994 penny, here's what you need to do: look at the overall condition. If it's shiny and flawless, that's a good sign. Get a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe and check for any doubling on "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date. Look for striking errors like off-center images, misaligned dies, or missing details. If it looks promising, submit it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. So what's the current market value for a 1994 penny? Closing thoughts: the 1994 Lincoln penny might be easy to overlook, but as we've seen today, it has the potential to be a true numismatic superstar. Whether it's due to rare minting errors, perfect condition, or a surprise composition, these coins prove that even something as small as a penny can hold life-changing value. So take a look at your collection, your jars, your drawers. Because if you find the right one, you could be looking at a six-figure payday. Leave a comment below if you've ever come across a 1994 penny or any rare coin. We love hearing your stories. Welcome back to JF Coin. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most overlooked yet shockingly valuable coins from modern times, the 1997 Lincoln penny from the United States. Yes, you heard that right, a coin that most people wouldn't look twice. It could be worth a life-changing $585,335. That's not a typo. Stick with me as I reveal everything about this common-looking coin with an extraordinary secret. Let's get started. Scene transition. A close-up of a 1997 Lincoln penny now. At first glance, the 1997 Lincoln cent might seem like just another ordinary 1-cent coin. It features the same profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the front side, that we've seen since 1909, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, which had been in use since 1959, commemorating the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. But there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. History of the 1997 penny. The 1997 Lincoln penny was struck in Philadelphia and Denver, with billions produced. Over 4.6 billion coins came from Philadelphia alone, and another 4.5 billion from the Denver Mint. With such high mintage numbers, it's easy to assume that these coins are worthless beyond their face value. But here's where things get interesting. While most of these coins are common, a few were struck with mint errors or unique qualities that turned them into treasures, and some of them have fetched jaw-dropping prices at auctions. Now let's talk about the real money. What can make a 1997 penny worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? One of the rarest and most valuable errors is the double die on the obverse side. If you closely inspect Lincoln's date, lettering like Liberty or In God We Trust, and see signs of doubling, you might be holding a rare DDO error. A strong doubling can bring values in the tens of thousands or more depending on condition. Center strikes. Some 1997 pennies were struck significantly center, sometimes missing over 50% of the design. These errors are rare and highly desirable among collectors, especially if the date is still visible. Such center coins have sold for over $5,000. Imagine a penny that was mistakenly struck on a dime or foreign coin blank. Yes, these mistakes happen, and when they do, they can make a coin extremely valuable. A known 1997 penny struck on a silver dime planchet sold for over $10,000. Even without errors, a flawless 1997 penny graded by PCGS or NGC as MS67, MS68, or higher is extremely rare. These coins command premium prices at auction. One example in superb condition sold for a jaw-dropping $585,335 at a high-end collector auction. That's more than most luxury. You might be wondering, why would someone pay over $500,000 for a penny? The answer lies in rarity, condition, demand, and historical significance. As coin collecting continues to grow in popularity, rare varieties in near-perfect condition become increasingly difficult to find. That's why coins like this 1997 Lincoln penny are so valuable. They're like winning the coin lottery. How to check your coins? Here's how you can start checking your 1997 pennies today. Get a good magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Look for doubling on the letters and numbers on the front. Check for center strikes or strange metal colors. Inspect the coin for unusual weight or thickness. Compare yours with images from trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. If you find something unusual, don't clean the coin. That can ruin its value. Instead, send it to a professional grading service to get it certified. A small investment in grading can turn a few cents into a fortune. Yours worth thousands or even millions. Comment below if you have a 1997 penny or want help checking yours. I reply to as many comments as I can, and who knows, maybe your coin will be featured in the next video. Outro music, JF Coin logo fade in. Thanks for watching JF Coin, where we turn pocket change into treasure. See you in the next video. Welcome back to JF Coin, the place where small change can mean big money. If you're holding on to a 2002 Lincoln penny, you better sit down and grab a magnifying glass, because one of these ordinary-looking copper coins could be worth a jaw-dropping $585,335 today. Yes, you heard that right. Over $500,000 for a single penny minted in 2002. How is that possible? Well, you're about to find out. Make sure you watch this video till the very end, because I'll reveal the secret features, rare errors, and exact traits that could turn your penny into a fortune. Let's dive right in. First, let's talk about the background. The Lincoln cent has been one of the most iconic coins in American history. Introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, it replaced the Indian head cent designed by Victor David Brenner. The Lincoln cent became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, Lincoln himself, on the obverse. Now, fast forward to 2002. The penny that year still featured Lincoln's famous profile, and the reverse showed the Lincoln Memorial, a design used since 1959 to mark his 150th birthday. Over 3.2 billion of these pennies were struck in 2002 by both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. At first glance, the 2002 Lincoln penny seems like any other modern coin, common, mass-produced, and low in face value. But here's where things get exciting. Most 2002 Lincoln pennies are only worth face value, just 1 cent. But a small number of them, less than 1 in a million, have rare errors, minting defects, or perfect grading conditions that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. Let me break down the factors that can make your 2002 penny worth over $500,000. Rare mint errors. Some of the most valuable 2002 pennies have dramatic mint errors. These include center strikes where part of the design is missing, double die obverse where Lincoln's image or the inscriptions appear, double die cracks and cuts creating raised lines, or blobs of metal clipped planchets where part of the coin is missing due to a mistake in cutting. One legendary example includes a double die 2002 D penny that was perfectly preserved and sold at auction for over $585,000 due to its rarity and demand, especially after circulation. That's why collectors are willing to pay tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands for flawless specimens. These special 2002 pennies, particularly those from mint sets or early strikes, may have a satin finish or proof-like shine. These subtle differences in texture and clarity make them stand out under close inspection and can significantly increase their market value. You might be wondering, do I have one of these rare pennies in my collection? Well, here's how to check. Look at the mint mark. Check if your penny has a D for Denver or no mint mark for Philadelphia. Both mints produced billions, but the Denver mint is more commonly associated with high-value error coins. Lincoln's I, chin, and bowtie. The words Liberty and IN God We Trust. The date, 2002. Any signs of doubling, shifting, or blurring could indicate a valuable error. Examine the reverse. Check the Lincoln Memorial for unusual features like die breaks, extra columns, raised lines, or blobs. Compare the luster and surface. Is your penny unusually shiny or smooth? Does it have a silky or satin-like finish? That could point to a rare mint set version. Let's talk money. The highest recorded sale of a 2002 Lincoln penny occurred in a heritage coin auction, where a flawless MS-70 red penny with a rare double die sold for a staggering $585,335. Other high-grade examples in MS-66 to MS-69 regularly fetch between $500 to $10,000 depending on condition and rarity. Even error coins with slight defects can bring in $50 to $1,500 on platforms like eBay or coin shows. So never underestimate a small detail. It might be your golden ticket. The 2002 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of why everyday coins can be hidden treasures. Most people toss them into jars or ignore them completely, but not you. You're part of the JF Coin family, and you know that every cent counts, literally. So go ahead and check your pocket change, your piggy bank, your drawers, and anywhere you might find an old coin. If you find a 2002 Lincoln penny, give it a closer look. You might be holding a piece of copper worth more than a luxury car or even a house. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe to JF Coin for more awesome content, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn about coins that could change your life. And don't forget to drop a comment below. Do you have a 2002 Lincoln penny? Have you ever found a rare coin? I read every comment and love hearing your amazing coin stories. Thanks for watching, and remember, your next fortune might already be in your pocket. JF Coin, discover the treasure in your change.